Rewind, a show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week we're talking about Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I
don't think any of the emphasis on anything I was saying was right.
No, but I just realized a great way that I could have done the recap, and it's too late.
Was it Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been really effective, and it would have done. You want to just make it up right now?
No, I don't know if I can improv that very well today.
Hi, Tristan.
Hey, Mike.
What's your bright spot?
Bright spot. You know, one of these days I'll be prepared for this. I am, I'm okay. I think that's my bright spot, is that I'm just okay.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah. There's, I still have this nasty cough from when I was sick, and that's a pain, but I'm okay. How about you?
Hey, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
About me. You know what? I am also okay.
Hey.
And sometimes that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finally having a chance to work on some music that I've needed to work on for a while.
Nice.
Fireworks Day is coming up.
Yay, Fireworks Day.
I'm going to Legoland this week.
Oh.
So that should be fun.
Every time I hear Legoland, I just think of Arrested Development when he's like, George Michael, Legoland, 2 exits.
Exactly. Indiana Jones and the Crystal... Oh, fuck. I already screwed it up. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
There we go.
Directed by Steven Spielberg. Screenplay by David Koepp.
Koepp?
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 Koepp. David Koepp. All right. Story by George Lucas, Jeff Nathanson. I don't think a single one of these Indiana Jones have been written by the same person, nor developed with George Lucas by the same person.
Nope, but a different person.
That's an interesting path to take. I don't know I don't think we ever got an answer of it. Of like, did they know they were going to make more than one movie?
Yeah, I don't know if we looked into that. But what's interesting to me is everybody else is basically the same.
Yeah, it's so weird to not lock in the writer, especially once the franchise was established.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they probably would have asked, I'm blanking on his name, but the Last Crusade writer, but I believe he had passed away probably while this film was being developed.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Yeah, story by George Lucas, Jeff Nathanson, based on characters by George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. Produced by Frank Marshall, starring Harrison Ford, Cate Blanchett, Karen Allen, Ray Winstone, John Hurt, Jim Broadbent, and Shia LaBeouf. Cinematography by Janusz Kamiński.
That's different too.
But that is someone who didn't Janusz do Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah. So he's someone that's worked with
Steven Spielberg, yeah.
Spielberg, but it's just like different from
the original
cinematographer.
That is true. But edited by Michael Kahn.
Mm-hmm.
Music by John Williams. Production company Lucasfilm Ltd. Distributed by Paramount Pictures. Release date May 18th, 2008 in Cannes. Nationwide in the U.S. May 22nd, 2008. Runtime 122 minutes. Budget, ooh baby, $185 million. Grossed in the U.S. 317. Opening weekend made $100 million. Worldwide made almost $800 million. So,
wow.
Regardless of the controversy surrounding this, it is a wildly profitable film.
Right.
So we have to take everything we say with that little bit of salt. That whatever our opinions are, we gave them money.
We did.
We gave them money and convinced them that it was the right choice.
And it's crazy because like this was extremely successful, at least box office wise. I'm surprised that wasn't enough for them to be like, we should make another one right away.
Yeah.
But I wonder.
But I don't know if Steven Spielberg works in that fashion.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a big sequel guy like back to back.
It does feel like there may have been like this kind of felt like they were testing the waters of like, can we change who like a new era of Indiana Jones? Do we do a sequel to this? Like it felt like they were kind of testing the waters of doing something different, and maybe the reviews came back and they were like, eh. But I mean,
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. I don't know if that was actually a factor.
Yeah. It's just interesting because like this was 2008. And
2008, yeah.
The last one, the newest one came out in 24.
But it was in development during the pandemic, no?
Was it?
I don't know. We'll know next week. All right.
Recap! Replay!
At the onset of World War II and throughout the war, there was a heightened interest in religious artifacts driven by both sides. In the 1950s, there were three things the American people feared the most: nuclear war, communism, and extraterrestrials. In the media, aliens represented the terrestrial fear of foreign invasion and the technological advancement. Fittingly, 19 years after Indiana Jones found the Holy Grail, he finds himself in a race against the Soviets, led by Cate Blanchett's Irina Spelko, to find the legendary Crystal Skull and the lost kingdom of El Dorado, the City of Gold. And their first stop, Area 51, to recover the body of an alien who had landed in the Roswell incident. Irina is a scientist specializing in psychic warfare, and the Crystal Skull is rumored to have telepathic powers. The skulls were worshipped like gods by the ancient Inca, and it was rumored that these gods gave the civilization knowledge and technological advancements that were lost along with the city. Having been kidnapped and forced to break into Area 51 and then surviving a nuclear bomb test, Indy is suspected of working with the Russians and is fired from his teaching job. Preparing to leave, he is stopped by a young man on a motorcycle who tells him that an old acquaintance, Dr. Oxley, has gone missing. The boy, Mutt, Shia LaBeouf, tells Indy that his mother sent him a letter telling him to find Indy and that he would know how to help find and save Ox. Mutt was a former student and mentee of Ox, and he convinces Indy to help. The two travel to Peru, following Ox's clues, which lead them to an old prison cell covered in drawings and writings by Oxley. Oxley had discovered the burial site of Spanish conquistadors and who were thought to have gone missing 500 plus years ago. Indy and Mutt explore the catacombs and find mummified remains of the conquistadors. Hidden among them is the crystal skull. Indy deduces that Ox must have found the skull, taken it, and brought it back, but it's unclear why. As they leave the tomb, they are captured by the Soviets, taken to the camp in the jungle. There, Indy is forced to stare into the eyes of the skull. Oxley had lost his mind from looking into the eyes for too long. They hoped that Indy would be able to understand the old man's ramblings by doing the same. Mutt and Indy are reunited with Oxley and Mutt's mother, Marion. Indy and her were once engaged to be married, but Indy left, and shortly after, Mutt was born. Mutt's real name is Henry. The group tried to escape only to get caught again. Following Oxley's notes, they all travel through the jungle. A big chase happens. Mutt swings like monkeys, or with the monkeys, and a guy gets horrified or horrifically served as dinner to giant ants. Having gotten the skull back, Indy and gang find their way to the Lost Kingdom and find centuries-old treasures from around the world. The aliens were archaeologists. They enter a final catacomb where they find 13 crystal skeletons of extra-dimensional beings, one without a skull. Irina shows up, takes the skull, and puts it back on the skeleton. The alien speaks through Oxley, saying thank you for returning him, and that he would like to bestow a gift upon them. A portal begins to open up above them, and the temple crumbles around. Irina stares into the eyes, and it downloads too much information, and she disintegrates into space dust. Indy, Mutt, Marion, and Oxley all escape and watch the UFO disappear, leaving no remains of the city. They return home, Oxley's mind fully restored, and Indy and Marion get married. The door blows open, and Indy's hat blows to the Mutt's feet, and just before he puts it on, Indy grabs it away from him, a symbolic gesture of how we almost had a new Indiana Jones. Oh, and I guess I left out a somewhat important but also unimportant part. At the beginning of the movie, Indy is working with an old friend, Mac. They knew each other from the war. They were agents together. Well, Mac double-crossed Indy and was actually working with Irina because they paid him enough. His motives stem from getting the payout of finding the city of gold. Then Mac tries to leave a clue to tell Indy that he's actually a double agent working with the CIA. But then Mac turns out to actually be working with the Soviets and leads Irina directly to the temple. Mac gets sucked into the UFO portal, and that greedy bastard deserved it. And the real treasure was knowledge and the friends we made along the way.
Recap!
Tristan. All right. Does this fall under the same category of when you last saw all of them, or did you skip this one?
I don't remember.
Okay. I feel like I've seen this one more recently.
Mm-hmm.
Still not super recent. Probably like 6 to 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Krista unironically loves this one. And we've been married for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we've seen it within that window.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if we saw it after Ray was born. She would have been a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I may have skipped this one.
Yeah.
I like just watched the original 3 and then didn't watch this one. But I have no memory of the last time I watched this movie.
Okay. And I have slight memories of the film. But this go about it, there were a lot of things I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say something incredibly controversial.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Dude. Same,
right?
And I'm annoyed that I did.
I can tell you what's wrong with it. And how I think they could have fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it still could have been something, but they could have fixed it.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. This is about 80% the right Indiana Jones. And I'm so mad that I liked it.
I know.
Shoot, we've gone this time analyzing Indiana Jones, and we've done it to our detriment, where we watched a film that universally by fans is loathed and does not have a lot of nostalgic support behind it. And by gum, our analysis of the other Indiana Jones made me like this more. Because I was looking for those things. And it fucking has it.
Yeah, the thing is, like, that I think when it first came out, there was a lot of the nostalgia, and there's a lot of things that I felt like, oh, they're just doing that for the nostalgia of it, but then like blah blah blah. Like there was a lot of expectation, I think, when it first came out, but like removing that expectation and just watching it, it's like it actually has a lot of the stuff. It had like I've removed myself from the feelings of when it first came out, and it's like it's got the stuff. And I had a thought and then it disappeared. But yeah, it was much more enjoyable. And I'm in the same boat of like, there are things where I'm like, that's not right. Or like that could have been done better. But of the things that make the character of Indiana Jones and the storytelling of Indiana Jones, like this has a lot of it.
Right. So whatever was the predecessor to Ancient Aliens, George Lucas was like gobbling it up. Or whoever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is like, it's not just that it's aliens, but it is Ancient Aliens bullshit. That they used as the major pivot point. And just so everyone is aware, Ancient Aliens is racist. Because I haven't seen it in a long time, but one of the biggest things is the Egyptians were not capable enough to make pyramids. So it was aliens. That is racist. The Mayans are not capable of making these grand civilizations. It was aliens. That is all like racism.
History is written by the winners.
Right. And so rather than saying, hey, these ancient brown folk had a very functional civilization, but alas, it was aliens.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if in Mexico there was like a grand medium, like a television series that basically says all the accomplishments of the Renaissance were aliens.
Right. It's like we don't don't even consider that while the Western civilization was creating advancements in specific ways that were more toward world exploration and seafaring and like all of that kind of stuff, and having to go out and find resources because the places that they settled didn't have all of the resources that they needed to survive, that there's no possible way that there was a civilization who had everything that they needed. And so instead of focusing their technology on doing other things, they just made the technology of living where they were really amazing, like creating great aqueducts and like amazing water infrastructure and like all of these things.
With that kind of thinking, you're gonna find yourself in a very diverse situation, sir, and that's not allowed.
I feel like I think my hair needs to be a little bit more standing up, and then I need to just go aliens.
No, but then you would be a racist.
Oh yeah, right. I don't want to be that.
No, so your hair is down, and you go people. Humanity.
What if? Hear me out. And then it's the Western culture who came in and destroyed all of that.
Yes. Yeah. I'm currently going through One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a lot of people say a lot of bullshit about that show. Mostly conservatives. And one of the big things, that show is so anti-conservative.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm on that, God, dude, I started this show like a month ago, maybe. Maybe. I don't even know if it's been that long. I think it has been that long because like the last week of school I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I started it when I did that Universal Studios Fan Fest.
Oh yeah.
Because I knew we were going to go to the One Piece show.
Right.
So that had to have been a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I really started. I'm on episode like 350. There's over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they're talking about is the history of one of the characters, and she became a very young archaeologist because she wanted to be like her mom, and she became part of this archaeology association. But for the world government, reading particular history is illegal. And the government finds out that they're reading that particular history, and then one of the archaeologists was like, hey, I think the reason that you guys are making this illegal is because 800 years ago there's this 100-year blank period, and no one knows what's happening, and you won't let us research, and I think it's because you, the government, are the reason that all of these terrible things happened. And then the government proceeds to destroy that entire island and kill everyone on the island.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So this is a long way of saying that one of the biggest flaws about this movie is that this kind of alien conspiracy theories is so detrimental to history. Because it doesn't allow for history to be history. And I bring it up because you and I grew up in America. We grew up with a very westernized, and I want to use westernized as like a category, not because we live in the West, but a category of Western culture, which can be derogatory. Like, and what I mean by derogatory is, I mean, there are people who believe that the West is the best, and those people are racist. There is that, and then there's the like lower tier of that where you may not have bad intentions, but you also think like things didn't occur until the West took the reins.
Right.
This kind of alien conspiracy does that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think this kind of alien conspiracy, which again, I think is worth talking about in Indiana Jones, who, while he is faced with supernatural realities, he is an archaeologist. He is a man of science, of reason, of facts. And this kind of alien conspiracy cannot coincide with history and fact. If anything, it flies in the face of evolution. And so, while I think there is this like, oh, the treasure is knowledge. It's like, no, it's not. And what are you talking about? Because you're not saying the human achievement of knowledge. You're saying that this knowledge could only be achieved because of alien forces, which flies in the face of evolution, because how did we get as far as we did? Were aliens always involved? Were aliens dictating evolution? Are aliens then truly gods at that point?
It's I was just thinking about, like, it's interesting that I was talking about aliens and how Western culture has applied that to very specific ancient cultures. It's one of the things that I appreciate.
My cultures. It's mostly my cultures.
Yeah. One of the things that I appreciate about like games like the Assassin's Creed franchise, where they're like, hey, everything was aliens, like, or these ancient beings, like in Egypt, in Italy, in like wherever it is, it was all connected to this. They weren't like saying that it was just certain cultures that did that, and I appreciate that kind of thing. But that's part of why I mean, not so much the like the fallacy of history that it creates, but the historical relevance of that I wanted to that I included in my recap was because, yes, this is a very Eurocentric way of thinking in saying that it was aliens in the Americas,
right?
And in those old those ancient cultures. But from a what were people afraid of or worried about or very concerned about during these times, I think one of the big things about when this movie came out was people were like, aliens, that doesn't make sense for Indiana Jones, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, no, it makes perfect sense for what the fears were during the time period that this takes place. Right. Would they have done it in a less racist way? Yes. Yeah. But it's from the storytelling perspective and how it fits within the mythologies that Indiana Jones uses, this actually fits really well within that circle. Yeah. So the argument for this actually makes sense for Indiana Jones. However, it doesn't make sense for history.
And here's where I want to even kind of argue against my own point. Mm-hmm. I actually don't think I have a problem with aliens. Mm. I don't have an issue with that as a concept. Mm-hmm. I think the way they did it is bullshit. Like it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. and the argument of, well, they're just aliens, is a really shitty argument. Like it falls flat.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that more as we get into characters and the development and everything like that. But the entire ending, in every way, sucks. In character development, in actual climactic impact. Like, she's faking it, you know? I made myself laugh. That's awful. It feels. I don't even know if there's I'm sure there's a word for it, but I think they're trying so hard to wrap everything up that everything is a letdown. In how the villain has their comeuppance, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, none of it, the process in which it's happening doesn't make sense.
No.
It's like they wanted another visual effect, and they were like, yeah, let's do this. But the problem is they kind of already did that in the other films. So they kind of recycled the idea. And it had very much, even though these were properties that happen after the fact, but it had very much like Lucy and Limitless kind of premise to it, where the brain can be impacted so much that it's actually having physical world impact. Which is just bullshit. Like, no, it doesn't. Sorry. You can call me a naysayer. You can call me it doesn't happen. It doesn't. Oh man, my disbelief has gotten so strong. Like, but even within the scope of the story, I'm open-minded to it within a film, but it has to make sense in the film, and the whole ending makes not a lick of sense. The rest of the movie actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like it all makes sense, and the end of this movie breaks its own rules of the universe that we've created within Indiana Jones, not because it's aliens, but because they show us the aliens.
That's the problem.
They show us, where everything before is like, they open the ark, something crazy happens. We don't see God, but we see evidence of it.
Right.
We see the Holy Grail, and again, we don't see the actual being behind it, but we see the power behind it. And
even with the knight, he at least appears as a physical representation. So to our eyes and to the eyes of Indy and the rest, that it's just a dude. He's either crazy or he's 700 years old, but he's just a dude.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
And then even in the Temple of Doom, we see that there's some sort of mystical power happening.
Sort of. What's interesting is, like, I think we talked about it a little, but when he first takes the heart out and then it heals, there's no way anyone could have seen that.
Right.
Indy was so far away, so he couldn't have seen it. So one, even within the movie's universe, the priest could have faked it. And then two, when the priest is like attacking Indy and like trying to take his heart, he could just be hitting pressure points.
Yeah.
Like there's still like somewhat of a logical explanation for it. The thing that is most mythical is the lava pit that looks like a portal to hell.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think we talked about it. Ultimately, it's a lava pit.
Uh-huh.
Like anyone who falls into it is just going to die.
Like a little bit more of like, there's no explaining that, is the doll and being stabbed or burned.
He was constipated.
And Indy feeling that.
He was just constipated, and somehow they were coinciding. He was getting a stomach cramp, and that's when he was stabbed. He was like, oh, gotta poop.
But yeah, with this one, they actually
show it.
Which is
that's the biggest no.
So much and still left it in that unknown.
Yes.
Like
they could have done virtually everything where the crystal skull could have glowed and done the communication, because then you can say that species of alien, even when they die, their brain continues to communicate. There is something there. Maybe the species evolved to where the crystallization actually creates this like perfect preservation of the neurons to allow for that kind of communication, that not necessarily that being is communicating, but maybe from afar the species is communicating through that. Like it's just like a satellite rather than an actual person holding a phone.
Yeah, like, but there could have been like,
oh, and hold on, and then those brains could have still, like, they're sending a signal home, whatever, and she's like, I want to know everything, and so they do that. They do like a satellite signal into her brain. They do give her the knowledge. I think the thing that would have worked is, instead of her brain just blowing up, she could have just gone mad. And she just like run out of the room, fall to her death. Like she could have killed herself in one of the many traps that were in this building.
Yeah. There's a couple. I think everything leading up to them getting to the temple could have been basically the same.
Yeah.
And we even have Indy looking into the skull's eyes and him like kind of going weird. We see Oxley, who's completely lost his mind, is speaking other languages and all of this stuff. And so like we have this idea that these things are here. But then when she does it, she's in a room with 13 of them.
Yeah.
Which amplifies its power.
Yeah.
And we've seen people explode. We've seen people melt. We've seen people disintegrate. Why couldn't we have her implode or something?
Well, I was going to say, what if it was so much happening in her mind that she just has an aneurysm and she starts like tearing blood because she's just so like, and then she dies. Doesn't have to be showy.
Or they could have done something with the magnetism that they like made such a big point.
Oh yeah.
That like maybe the magnetism that is magnetic to things that aren't normally magnetic pulls her apart.
Or like the information is going and she she starts to float because it's pulling her up to their level, and then it kind of pulls her apart. It would have been gruesome.
Yeah, but so has everything else been.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the least gruesome thing is the death of what's his face from Temple of Doom. He just falls into a river and gets eaten by crocodiles. Still gruesome, but like not.
Yeah, it wasn't supernatural.
Yeah, but this like they still could have done all that, and then we no UFO, no skeletons all merging to create.
That's the problem.
Creature.
The problem is that these skeletons combined and created then a living being, which assumes, well, one, it has skin, it has organs, it has everything to allow it to live.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that everything inside of it is just made out of like crystals or something is insane.
And then it's weird to have, because Oxley is speaking words and Indy is translating them. And he says he wants to give you a gift, or wants to give us a gift. But the way that he says it makes it sound like that's not actually what they said. But then it's hard to tell.
Yeah, maybe we can go back to that scene, because
it's hard
I was
to tell,
kind of thrown off by that.
Like, were they thanking them and they were bestowing the gift of knowledge? Did they know that Irina was actually had malicious intent, and so they're like, we're gonna fry her brain? Like, what kind of information did they? Because they said the skulls pick and choose. Like, she tried to look into the eyes before, and she didn't get anything. But the skull chooses who it speaks to.
Did the skull say like, "Hey, tell them I have a gift, but I'm gonna fucking kill him, so you need to get out of here"?
Yeah, like that has to be what it told them. But like, it's
yeah, because
kind of weird.
It doesn't really make any sense from the information that we're given.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Indy had been like, "Hey, Irene, they want to bestow you something," and yeah, and then he starts like shooing them away. That would kind of make that more evident. But it's just, he seems confused about it, thus making everything more confused.
Yeah. So that whole ending just felt like something was, a lot of things were missing, and the things that they included shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, and I'm how does a species die and then reincarnate itself when 13 full skeletons are present? And that itself is the activation to the process. There was no button. There was no ceremony. There was no anything. It was the skull got reattached. It moved itself into place. And then suddenly some process starts occurring where the 13 skeletons combine, creating organic material, like transferring the material into tissue, and bearing life.
Yeah.
Is that how they reproduce? There's no way this species would evolve.
Yeah, or was it like, because they're extra dimensional, not extraterrestrial, like, did the system of the spinning and the portal and the blah 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 allow the being to form because it was stuck in between dimensions or something? Like, we needed some sort of explanation like that.
Are
of
the
like,
skeletons just like Horcruxes? Like,
yeah, did we just get the Voldemort of
Indiana
aliens?
Jones and aliens? Yeah, that whole thing just doesn't.
And
the fact that they made it
was there 500 years ago.
Yeah.
So why didn't it do anything then? And then it was taken by the Spaniards.
Right, which, again, what is the activation to this process? Because the film makes it seem as though the skull reuniting with the rest of its skeleton is what initiates the whole process, but that doesn't make any sense for the whole scope of the film. The problem with the ending is that the rules that the movie has made are all broken. Nothing gets followed. And so we're truly left in a position where nothing makes any sense.
Right.
Lame.
So, since we're already talking about story stuff, I'm going to take us from the end of the movie all the way to the beginning.
Okay.
This is the first one where the story that we get told at the very beginning of the movie is directly connected to what's happening in the movie.
Right.
Because even Temple of Doom, like, yes, Temple of Doom leads directly into what's happening.
But the whole story arc in the Chinese club has nothing to do with the rest of it.
But this one is like, we get introduced to the themes, the bad guy, and like all of that right from the beginning.
This is also the first one where our villain is a through line.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's no
Bollock is not the villain in the first one.
Right.
He is the rival and the tool of the villain, but the Nazis are the villains.
Mm-hmm.
The Chinese gangster is not the villain. And then they, by happenstance, land in India.
If they had done Mac double crossing him without the other people being there, that would have been a perfect, like,
it would have connected everything.
It would have matched in the way that everything else has been matching.
Right.
It would have connected things, and it wouldn't have had to be showing all the cards right at the beginning.
Yeah.
This movie shows the cards right away.
It does. To the point where not only does it show its hand, it also admits that there are jokers and the instructions in the deck.
Right.
Because it has a whole lot that doesn't belong.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, some of these metaphors are working out pretty well. The whole nuke scene did not belong.
No.
This whole movie could have worked without it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels as though they did it, one, so that Steven Spielberg can have a nuke animated.
Mm-hmm.
And so that they can get the joke of the science dude scrubbing Indy's balls and Indy getting really mad about it.
Which, they could have done basically all of that. Him ending up in the nuke town, and then the countdown happens. But there are people watching it, right? The announcement happens because there are people watching.
Yeah, there's no way they wouldn't have seen the Russians' car and gone, is there a car driving through the streets?
Yeah, and so there could have been the countdown, and then we could have cut to like somebody hitting the button to like cancel it. And then, it wouldn't have been.
And then military police arresting the Russians and arresting Indy. That gives the FBI way more. Also,
and they still could have scrubbed them down because they're like, "Hey, we've been like,
there's a lot of radiation." Also, how did the FBI know what they knew about what was happening in Area 51? Because
by the time they get there, they're all gone.
They're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
There are no cameras.
There's a couple people that Indy killed, right?
Maybe. Also,
if he was just telling them, like, here's what happened, and then, like, you're working with the Soviets?
Indiana Jones, the franchise, has such a thing where it codifies the propaganda of the West, the American government, stuff like that. And this one was just so goddamn confused. Because Indy says, I like Ike.
Uh-huh.
And then giving like a positive perspective on the government. But then the FBI is clearly crooked and full-fledged within G. Edgar Hoover's whole thing, and then even it seems McCarthyism.
Uh-huh.
So showing that the government is acting upon suspicion, but Indy is still really positive about the government.
Right.
So it kind of makes that point less.
Yeah.
It doesn't give it a lot of weight.
Needed to be a little bit more of a disconnect between him and...
Yeah, Indy...
Because the government actions all make sense given the era that this takes place. Right. And the fear and like all of that.
But Indy could have just been like, I don't like any of it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I've been doing this long enough, and the one thing I can tell you is people.
Mm-hmm.
People make it through. Governments usually don't. Cool. Now we have a perspective on it that, like, he doesn't really support anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to get history and facts.
Yeah.
Which that's fine, honestly. I mean, he could be like, objectively, this is wrong.
Uh-huh.
Which it felt like he kind of was doing that when they talked about Area 51 and whatever was happening. Was it New Mexico?
Yeah, the Roswell
stuff, because it sounded like he got kidnapped by the government.
Yeah.
To do it. And yet he was working undercover for the military the fact that he was in the military feels kind of out of...
I'll tell you what, this movie makes me really want to know what happened in the 19 years between, because World War II happened, so he would have served during that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Right? And then he becomes an agent and a spy.
That one feels a little screwy.
And then, because when he and Mac are talking, they're like, oh, like we used to be agents.
No. That's what the story says.
I'm just curious, like, what was Indiana Jones like during the war and post-war when we got into the Cold War and like all of that?
Right.
Because there's a part of that we don't get to experience, and that's it's just a really interesting, unexplored version of Indiana Jones.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of him being a spy.
Mm-hmm.
Being in World War II makes sense because like everyone was.
Mm-hmm.
There were some, but it feels far and few between as far as like pacifists. But the further you go into, you know, the Cold War, Vietnam, etc., even though we weren't there yet, the Korean War, pacifists and anti-war sentiments were much higher.
Yeah.
The veterans who came home kind of, you know, saw the horrors of war and were basically like, hey, we won the big one. Let's not do it again. There's a little bit of me that feels like he should have been a little more anti-imperialist, but his weird, it belongs in a museum, and it kind of doesn't seem, he doesn't seem to care whether it has the approval of the natives. So maybe he just doesn't care. So that might be on track.
Uh-huh.
So continuing on with the writing, The dialogue is fun. It is definitely not as funny as The Last Crusade, but it does have some jokes that work. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make I guess the ending doesn't make sense. I'm not actually too entirely against how the beginning of the movie started. Just I don't want the nuke.
Yeah.
And Mutt Tarzaning about because they wrote that in. Steven didn't just see like a tree and go,
yeah,
hey, what if
it's such a weird choice? Because I feel like they made the joke of like, oh, he was standing on the thing and then he gets caught by vines. And then somebody was like, yeah, but how does he catch back up? And instead of being like, well, he jumps on a motorcycle, which would have made sense because the whole movie has been like he rides a motorcycle or something like that. They're like, he swings through trees.
Yeah. He saw a monkey and went, hey, I can do that.
Uh-huh.
It's so unfathomably stupid that it takes you right out of the film.
Uh-huh.
Like there's no way to stay in that movie.
There's like, I think that's other until the aliens showing up. It is the most unrealistic thing.
Well, and it actually hurts other parts of the film because the things that challenge credulity, you have to sparse them out. You cannot have them back to back to back to back because at that point, you just take the person out of it completely. And it's going to be really hard to bring them back in. But if you have them in for a while and then you do something ridiculous that kind of challenges that, but then you bring them back in again and you just spread them out, you can get away with a lot.
Right.
But they had Tarzan for way too long. He looks like he goes like half a mile through tree vines, which feels impossible.
And he catches up to two speeding vehicles.
It like forearm strength alone feels impossible. And then the solution to their problems from there is that Marion had done a U-turn and when initially had seen the river, saw the tree and lined up the car once she picked everyone up for that tree and then drove the car into the tree and knew that tree would just kind of lightly
gently take them down. Yeah.
That is also a no-no. But if you had the film filled with a bunch of things that were like, oh, okay, I could buy that. Okay, I could buy that. Okay, I can buy that. You could have that moment and you would just think like, oh, that's fun as it's happening. But you have Tarzan and then immediately after the vehicle version of Tarzan and it is immediately too much.
Right. Because you have two very unrealistic things happen back to back in a movie that has mostly been relatively realistic.
Right.
And yeah.
Well,
and that, like,
except for
if it happened as an accident and they got lucky, I could buy it. The fact that was her plan is like, come on now.
That's the part I actually have the biggest problem with is she made it be her plan. Okay.
And speaking of plans that don't make sense, why does Irina and all of her soldiers get on ropes and climb down the hill when there's an army of giant ants who can climb down those ropes and still attack them? Like, their plan makes no sense whatsoever. Right? Because they do it because they're like, oh, we're going to escape from the ants. We saw the ants make a tower and climb up to her. And we're supposed to believe that them taking ropes off the side of a cliff is going to protect them.
Also, that they just kind of have spelunking
They
equipment.
had those ropes ready to go.
Yeah, because you can't just do ropes. They have to be tied a certain way to make it work.
We needed to see people prepping those ropes or something and being like, we got to get the, like, but we just see them like grab the rope, jump off the cliff.
Yeah. I mean, it could have even been on the base. Like someone doing that to set up. And, you know, as Indy is telling information, you could have had a background person saying like, hey, make sure we have the climbing stuff.
Yeah.
Just to say like, hey, we have it. But just popping it out of nowhere after everything else. The problem is that it's too many things in a row that are stupid and don't make any sense.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And it all happens in the last 30 minutes of the film? 45 minutes of the film?
Is it 30? I feel like it's 40 minutes, but
yeah. It takes him a while to get through the temple and everything. But still,
right.
Like, it all happens really close to each other. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with the majority of that chase scene. Right? We've already established
I actually don't have a problem for anything else outside of the things I mentioned.
That like Mutt has been educated. His mom told him to like learn these things, and so he, like, him knowing how to fight makes sense. Like, because we've already established that he was a good student until he decided to drop out of school. The like all of that, it all works, except for the end of that scene where it all just goes crazy, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Last 40 minutes.
Yeah,
about 40 minutes.
So I don't know, man.
Alrighty.
So
I mean, yeah.
We want to look at Jeff or David. Let's look at David.
Let's look at David. Oh, he did the screenplay. Yeah, let's look at David.
Oh, we've seen this guy's work before.
We have. Oh yeah.
The amount of people that we have currently encountered in the last like month or two that worked on the movie Toy Soldiers is crazy.
It's maybe where they all met. He wait, hold on. Is this what the show was based off of? No. So a movie called Dark Angel. Not to be confused with the 1999 TV series.
Yeah.
Okay, I was blanking. Bad Influence, Toy Soldiers, Death Becomes Her, Jurassic Park, Carlito's Way, The Shadow,
Hey.
Mission Impossible, The Trigger Effect, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Snake Eyes, Panic Room. He wrote the screenplay for the 2002 Spider-Man film.
Did.
He also wrote the screenplay for Secret Window, Thora, a space adventure.
The sequel written
Jumanji.
by the same guy that did Jumanji.
Wait, the book was.
The book was, yeah. Zathura
No.
and Jumanji exist within the same.
Yeah, but he didn't write the screenplay.
No, this guy wasn't involved with Jumanji, but
Correct.
Zathura.
He wrote the screenplay for War of the Worlds, Crystal Skull, Ghost Town, Angels and Demons, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Oh, he wrote the screenplay for the 2017 The Mummy. He destroyed the franchise.
His fault.
He also wrote Dial of Destiny, which we're going to see next week. He also wrote Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh. Wait, which one was that? Was that the Scarlett Johansson one?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'll say it. I had fun with it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's not awful. It does have moments. It's better than Jurassic World Dominion, I'll tell you that much.
This guy also did the screenplay for the upcoming, has it released yet? Disclosure Day.
It has release day.
Spielberg.
You said day and I said day.
You did.
It has released, and I have heard many a mixed things.
So this guy has an interesting...
Yeah, he has some big hits early in his career, and then what seems like a lot of misses.
Mm-hmm.
Wyatt Russell is in Disclosure Day.
Wyatt.
Coleman Domingo? Colin Firth?
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize all these people were in this. What trailers have I seen? Emily Blunt is like the only person that I've seen in the trailers, but
Anyway. And then we've got Jeff, who what did he do? Jeffy Boy.
Jeff.
He helped with story development. And we've seen Jeff as well.
We have seen Jeff.
He was writer for Catch Me If You Can.
Jeff.
Speed 2, Cruise Control, Rush Hour 2.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Catch Me If You Can, Terminal, Rush Hour 3.
Yeah, so we definitely talked about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the writing had so much potential to be good, but they just made such weird decisions that it's hard to just stamp it as like a good script.
Uh-huh.
There's so many weird things that make it go like, well,
yeah.
Is it? That doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. But the things that are wrong enough to really... It's a flashlight in the eye. It's not just a phone screen.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty. Visuals. Let's talk about visuals. 1, cinematography, and 2, CGI. So first, cinematography. This still seems like a Spielberg film. Like, I don't know how he does it, but everything is HD. Everything is much clearer. And yet it still feels like a Spielberg film.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how he does it. Maybe it's Janusz. I don't know, but there's still lots of visual moments throughout everything.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And I feel like we missed this in like the last one that we watched, but they bring back a lot of the like silhouettes and the using that kind of imagery.
And that's where I think some of it does work as far as like Indiana Jones is some of the visuals return back to the kind of melodramatic moments.
Yeah.
Where the camera can kind of do what maybe other things can't do.
Yeah.
Like CGI can't necessarily do some of those things. You have to just frame it up and do it in camera.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, speaking of the silhouette, it's really interesting that like with the first movie, there is a little bit of a reveal. Like obviously people have seen the trailer, so they're not going to not know that it's Harrison Ford. But there is this like reveal moment of it's Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. In this one, it's not so much the reveal of who it is. It's just like the he's back. Then they show us.
Yeah, that is true. It feels like they did it a little bit with Mac, but it was immediately who's this guy?
Yeah, like who are you?
All right. CGI. Here's what I got to say. You ready?
Go for it.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Some of it is still really good. I'm kind of shocked because I remember thinking a lot of this was dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not.
Mm-hmm.
Those gophers still hold up.
They're not bad. Yeah.
It's really, really good. And honestly, any CGI that isn't green screen CGI is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the big points that I bet a lot of people wouldn't really even know, the face replacement on Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf throughout most of the motorcycle scenes.
Like
those are all face replacements. They're done so well.
Yeah.
To the point where I even have a couple times where I'm like, I don't know if that's a face replacement.
Like, is that actually them? Yeah.
But judging from the stunt and everything that's happening, I'm like, that's a face replacement.
Yeah.
But they did it so well that I don't know what to do with it. Like,
yeah, because sometimes you can see the floating face a little bit, but these like didn't even think that it was not them.
The atomic bomb looked good, but the fridge didn't. And the combination of the two takes away from the atomic bomb.
Mm-hmm.
The ants looked really, really good.
Yeah.
The mixture of digital and practical effects with the ants, very effective.
Yeah.
The Russian dude getting kidnapped by the ants.
Oh, yeah.
It looked really good. The hardest part about that scene is the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You already have weird, different, odd shading because it's an opening within a jungle.
Right.
So the sun is not going to just pierce through it. It's not going to overwhelm the scene. It's going to kind of sprinkle and pierce through. So that's just going to be hard to digitally recreate. And sometimes it was obvious, and then sometimes it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. The Shia LaBeouf Tarzan shit was awful.
Terrible.
You know what else was really bad? So the monkeys ambushing the car looked really good. Cate Blanchett fighting the monkeys looked amazing. When she threw the monkey, it looked awful. Like they added motion blur to it so much to the point that it actually like fully distracts, and it immediately took me out because I was like, nothing moves that way. What the fuck moves that way? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
While you're looking,
if you can mention.
So one of the things that you mentioned, like the lighting and certain things, there's something, and I think they were trying to accomplish a look that was reminiscent of the 1950s style of stuff. So there's a lot of light bloom that happens. This movie was too clean.
Yes. Yeah.
It's way too clean.
And it's filmed on film. But it feels like it's digital.
It feels digital. It feels like even the parts that are supposed to be messy are just like, that's one of the great things about the original 3 movies is that it feels like you feel like you have dust on you,
right,
from watching those movies.
What was the film that we watched that was in New York? Was it Catch Me If You Can? Maybe it's a Spielberg thing where one of my big gripes within it was New York was too fucking clean.
Yeah,
you're right. Everything in this film is like too clean.
I think modern day Spielberg, everything's just too clean.
Yeah, he just wants like a clean aesthetic. All right, so here we go. So Cate Blanchett's character is trying to run him off the road. So Shia LaBeouf just got in through the vine, which is crazy. Now look at the monkeys. Yeah. They're all CGI. That was okay. This next part, all of that, that looks so good. But now watch. So the monkeys are attacking the people. The coordination between the people and the monkeys. So whoever animated the monkeys, I think hand did some of it.
because it's like lined up really well.
It's lined up really well. Now watch this throw. Cate Blanchett has a monkey in her hand and she's about to throw it. Like,
yeah.
Do you see that motion blur?
And it's what's weird about it is the like the monkey kind of stays in focus the whole time, but everything else around it is
else is like super motion blur. That can't work. It can't
strange.
Work. It can't.
It's very strange. I don't know if I was supposed to be hearing sound or if you had muted it.
No, I muted it.
Okay.
I didn't want to deal.
Yeah.
We'll look at this scene. This isn't like a CGI. I have to say, a lot of the set design was beautiful. The makeup and the costuming for the Inuit people, and is that right? Or is that the TurboTax company?
It's Intuit.
Oh, okay. Then
yeah.
I think that's right.
It's correct.
I am such a dumb person. Is that how you pronounce that? That company, Intuit?
Intuit, yeah. Inuit is similar indigenous people inhabiting the Arctic and subarctic. So you're wrong in
every
You're right that it's indigenous people, but you used the wrong term.
But what did Indy say? He said something. What?
So they were, I believe they were Inca because it was Peru.
Yes, that's it. Oh God, I'm so stupid. Okay. Anyway, so the set, a lot of it looked great.
Yeah.
I just am so annoyed with the closing scene where they just do all this stuff with rocks and stone passages and this and that and the other. And then it's on a metal spaceship.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you, Steven Spielberg. There's no fucking way. You shouldn't have had that. That should not have been a part of it. It should have been the portal, and maybe everything just implodes on itself.
Yeah.
But the fact that you did a spaceship that was like 5 football fields.
It was huge.
It was huge. And that was underground the whole time, which again,
there should have been some evidence of them like going from stone.
So much metal. That's so much metal.
Speaking of metal, the picking and choosing of when the magnetism worked.
No. Hold on.
Okay.
I kind of like it because they make a point of pointing it out.
Uh-huh.
Because Mutt points out that gold is not magnetic, but gold was sticking to it.
Yeah.
And so the magnetism goes beyond metal, like metal.
That's not my issue.
Oh, okay.
My issue is that thing should be magnetic all the time.
Yeah, why wasn't it sticking to the car?
Why is it not pulling the car? How come he can throw gunpowder into the air and it'll fly through the air, but all the lights are normal until they pull the thing out and then they start pulling toward it? Like there's just
it should have actually protected them from the bullets.
Uh-huh.
Because as soon as they shot the bullets, it should have all just gone to the skull.
Yeah. Which would have been a great visual of them like aiming at Indy and then him being like on his own, and then they shoot at him and then all the bullets like reverse back towards them. Like,
yeah.
Would have been great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dumb.
But there was inconsistency with when it was magnetic.
True.
Not with what it was magnetic.
I fully agree with you. It should have been magnetic all the time. All the rings, all the nipple piercings, they should have been pulling on it the whole time. His knife should have been snapping to it every single time they pulled it out, and it was within. And then you're trying to tell me that like burlap sack that prevented the magnetism.
Yeah, when the case in Area 51 was like everything was sticking to it. Like the box. They had the box with the thing.
Was the skull? That's also where I got confused. They took out a carcass that only had the skull in it.
No, they took out. They found there was a full body. And they cut it open that we see later, and its entire skeleton is crystal.
So why wasn't that part of the squad?
But the skull that they needed was of the original 13.
But then what was the one? But then that was the one that Ox had.
That put back into the,
that they had already.
That no, because so they had the alien that they took from Area 51, most likely because Ox had taken the one that he had back to.
Yeah, but that was the one. The one. So what happened to the one that they got
From Area 51?
Yeah,
I don't know what was their goal with that one? Science?
no, but it doesn't. Oh shit, that's a big plot hole.
It connects only in the sense of they're like, look, it's entirely crystal, and then they don't do anything with it.
They could have had the whole. They could have skipped that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie actually would have made more sense. It would have been interesting if he had had an adventure, something similar. Like follow the same steps, just don't get the Russians involved.
Uh-huh.
Do it to the point where the FBI is suspicious. Actually, no, fuck that. Don't even involve the FBI. Because I think they're doing it just to do the Red Scare stuff.
Uh-huh.
But they could have done it where, like, he is getting an artifact and he's questioned by some Russians. And that questioning brings about the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mutt meets him and does the whole thing. And you skip the whole part about him getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that. None of that's necessary.
Yeah, because that's basically all based off of like the Red Scare. Like that's all that is.
Yeah, but they could have had the chase with the Russians and then the people doing the protests where they're doing the better dead than red or whatever. They could have done all that and it probably would have worked still.
Mm-hmm.
But they like did that just to show that like his dad died and that the other guy died.
Uh-huh.
And they just wanted to have Professor Slughorn from Harry Potter there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there are certain
Jesus, what that
there are certain character development or story time period development things that they do that felt a little unnecessary.
The more I think about it, the more I'm getting confused by it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, just maybe, people were right. Okay. Shit. What were we even talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about the aliens and the skulls.
Oh yeah, the big plot hole with the Area 51 alien.
Yeah.
Going through that whole thing, finding it, but
We
then
got there because
it
we're
not being connected with the film at all.
Yeah. Other than introducing aliens. We were talking about the magnetism that came from the UFO, not making sense why it was all metal. And they were like walking, there's no evidence of them walking through metal unless the UFO appears because of the dimensional whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense, and it shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
Is there anything other visually or non-character based story that we had issues with or liked?
I know that this is probably a faux pas. I kind of liked the whole Indy Mutt Marion thing. I think the wedding at the end is a little hokey, but everything else was like, hey, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, if you think about it, this series is about father figures and like the relationship with fathers. Because I mean, maybe not so much the first one. I guess you could argue that like there's a whole thing about Marion and her father and that, but that's not a huge element of it. But the second, in Temple of Doom, we have the father-son ish relationship between Short Round and Indy. In Last Crusade, we obviously have him and his father directly. And in this one, it's just like, okay, and now like Indy is an actual father and he's finding it out. And so like there is a theme of the father-son relationship.
Yeah. No, it does fit into it in a way. I don't think it's as much an issue as maybe people give it, because it actually fits into the continuum of Indiana Jones in that Henry Sr. was such a avid historian, but never really got into the actual archaeology of it all. And Indy wanted the same kind of history like his dad, but he also wanted the adventure. And Mutt is proving to be smarter than he seems, but he is also a product of his surroundings and his like generational zeitgeist.
Yeah.
It's fitting. I think it still works. Also, the teenage indie stuff would have been happening in the 19 teens. So, like, you know, cars were still kind of new. Like, think of what the world looked like when Indy was a teen, and then when Mutt was a teen, and how different those worlds are. It actually makes everything make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's what? Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we can move on, but
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say regarding like music. I was a little disappointed.
I was very disappointed
with this one. Like, it didn't feel like there was much newness. There was slight differences, but there wasn't anything that was like, look what he's done here.
I would also argue that he was underused.
Yeah, they used a lot of needle drops, I guess, in this one. Then
I think there's a lot of just silence. There's a lot of times where music is not happening that would typically have music. And John Williams has the ability to make those moments jump a little more through his compositions, but it just felt like they were ignored.
Yeah. Overall, like there was really not much musically that stood out in this one, to the point that the fact that nothing stood out is what stood out.
Yeah.
Especially in the last ones where it's like there's so much, like he brings back themes, like Marion's theme comes back, and there's a couple, like when we see Henry Jones Sr., we hear the Last Crusade. Like we do have those moments of nostalgia, but we don't actually have much that feels unique or new to this one.
Right. Agreed. It was a weird move on the part of, I guess, Spielberg.
Yeah, and I don't know if that is something to put on Williams, or if that was it Spielberg? It was a production? Was it Disney? Like, I guess this was still Paramount.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question, because it could have been Spielberg. It could have been the studio. Either way, it was a major lack in what makes John Williams, and what makes, a Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah.
I'm going to share a photo because this is a great example of what you were talking about, where there is like too much clarity. Like there's too much clarity in this shot. So this shot is from early in the film, and Cate Blanchett is in the foreground of the shot, and Indy is, I don't know, like 6 feet back, and there's some Russians holding him, and then there's more Russians around further out. Everyone is in focus. And if they're not in focus, the blur is very minimal. If there is blur, it's due to motion, not because the lens. Like the type of lens they used is so different.
But it's like, even looking at her, like her skin is almost glowing, which that might just be Cate Blanchett, but she's glowing, and like in almost every shot that has her in it, it just feels.
I think some of the contrast on this,
the contrast is super high. Like the darks are dark and the lights are light. But even Indy himself, he's wearing a dirty shirt, and it still seems clean. And then all of I know that they are military, and they're supposed to be presenting themselves as like military, so everything's clean, but like their shirts are like perfect, their uniforms are perfect. Like there's just like no grit to anything.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find more from. Oh, fuck you.
There's that alien.
It's so stupid.
He doesn't have a nose.
He doesn't have a nose, but he does have lips.
Yeah, but it is. I'm making the connection back to Harry Potter.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
super veiny.
Interesting.
Is that a screenshot or is that a picture?
Feels like a screenshot.
Yeah, there you go. Too clean. This is in the scene where it's the car chase through the jungle, and it is just there's too much detail on everything they're doing. There's so much goddamn. Oh, you know what? I don't remember if this is a very Spielberg thing. There was so many instances of lens flare. To the point where it didn't make sense why there was lens flare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they would have used the anamorphic lens on a lot of these shots, which it just is a byproduct of using the anamorphic lens. I wonder if they made that choice. I mean, we have a different cinematographer than we had before. And so it may have been a choice from him. There also is, I would say, because we're dealing with aliens, there might be, they're like, hey, the lens flare suggests aliens a little bit more.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
The choice to do the fan service and show the Ark of the Covenant. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Because this reminds you that there was some spiritualism happening, religiosity, or hey, maybe it's aliens. Connect the dots. Don't just show it and be like, hey, remember when he saw God?
Yeah.
Never mind.
There was something that we were talking about a moment ago. That it's a thought that keeps like coming in and then disappearing, which is unfortunate.
Showing the Ark is like it's fan service and what's it called when you rewrite it? When you like put something in a story that later changes what the meaning.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Whenever whenever you ask me a thing, it's like I know it, but it's not coming to my mind right now.
I know.
People are yelling at us right now.
I know.
Retconning.
It kind of retcons the other films because of the context of everything. Anywho, I just realized something. Sorry. The costumes being new, or the outfits for the Russian soldiers being new, actually makes sense because they're fake. They're dressed as American soldiers.
Yeah.
They all just got brand new outfits to pretend in.
Yes, for that beginning scene, yeah.
But the rest of the film, yes, there is a bit of that.
It still just feels it's too clean.
Yeah, it is too clean. I do not take that away. Alrighty. What?
I'm just really frustrated that I forgot the thing that I was going to say, because I know as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to be like, this is the thing.
Alrighty. Let's get into characters, because I'm just seeing what time it is. And we're not even on characters yet. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is back, motherfuckers! Despite what is happening throughout the rest of the film, this is Indiana Jones. This is what Indiana Jones should be. He is an incredibly talented, incredibly smart man who can scuffle pretty well, but ultimately just kind of lucks into everything. The the scene where he's running about and he whips the light and tries to swing into the moving car and then lands into the other moving car, and he's like, damn, I thought that was closer.
Yeah.
That is a perfect Indiana Jones joke. There's a scene or two where he's kind of doing like parkour and he's fighting a little much, and they're trying to convince us that he's not 50 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's 50. And it's like, that's not happening, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, how old was he when they were making this? Because he's 80 something now.
I think he was 50 something.
Which,
I mean, it makes sense.
He was born in 42.
That while you're doing the math, it makes sense that he maybe knows how to be a better fighter now because he did serve in the military, had some training beyond just figuring it out.
He was 66.
66.
Oh, he's 6'1"?
Huh.
He seems much shorter than that. Am I crazy for that?
I see it.
Yeah.
I think he did. I think he did a good job, and they did a good job of like having his character. I really enjoyed that they made him a little bit. We saw a little bit more of him as a teacher.
Yeah,
this time,
and they like leaned into it a bit. Like I really loved when they're falling in the sand pit, and he's like, well, actually quicksand is a mixture between sand, water, and a little bit of mud, and it's actually quite interesting. And she's like, we're not in class.
Yeah. Which, just a little complaint, the sound effects for that moment didn't make sense, because if it's not quicksand, why is it bubbling and gurgling?
Right. Also, they are using the same hitting sound effects as they used back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes it nostalgia or a little rough. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the thing. When they go to the grave, the gravesite, the two guys that attack them, who are they? And why are they there?
Right.
They don't tie them back to
the other guys
in any way. It's just, hey, there's two dudes who want to kill you.
And one is Kino from Ninja Turtles 2. Fun fact. Ernie Reyes Jr., for those of you uncertain of that. He's also
the one who gets the dart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also in Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
1994 kids martial arts film, Surf Ninjas. Good times.
So Harrison Ford coming back.
There was just one thing, and maybe this is a weird nitpicky thing, but it kind of like made me go, wait a second. Nuclear. He says nuclear real weird. And then there was another word he said, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. But when he said it, I was like, you got this guy pronouncing Mayan shit and all this, but he can't say that word. You couldn't do another take, like no one heard that and went, hey, Harris, can you just say that again? Just a little, like articulate it just a little more. I think it was during the interrogation scene too. I don't know. Yeah. Anywho. Oh boy. That whole scene annoyed me. Not because Harrison, but because I was like, what's the point of this?
Right. I feel like that the point of that one was to like reintroduce or like introduce, or not introduce, but give us a little exposition of what
Indy's been doing.
what he's been doing.
But that also was the part I didn't. When the general guy or whatever his ranking was came in, and they just made him seem so chummy with Indiana and all that stuff. But it was genuinely a moment of, hey, who the fuck is this guy?
Uh-huh.
Alrighty.
General Ross. The irony.
Oh.
Irony? The whatever.
The Irina of it all.
Falco?
Speaking of which, Cate Blanchett, she's supposed to be Russian, right?
It's real hard. Nah, Ukrainian.
Ukrainian. There's a bit of German in there. There's a bit of just her English accent.
It's hard to believe her as that character.
I think she could have been like a creepy person.
Uh-huh.
The accent, they don't need to give people accents.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just said she was an English lady who ended up in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And without Harrison being like, well, how you're hugging those wubbies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
I was like, is he calling her Porky Pig? What's happening?
I think she did fine. Like, I think the accent really took away from
The accent was the worst part. Her acting kind of scary, maniacal, determined, all of that stuff. It worked,
uh-huh.
but the accent just takes away from it.
Yeah. And I think with her, the whole idea of her being a specialist in
Psychic warfare.
Psychic warfare and all of that. That's what they were doing. They were trying to brainwash people. And
yeah. And I really like when Indy, when she started doing it and he was like, uh-huh.
What are you doing? Yeah.
And she's like, you're a hard one to crack. And he's like, sorry?
But yeah, that all makes sense from a character and that time period kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard to just not see her as Gladriel, but she's just glowing all the time.
I get it. She's one of those people that it's a hard, I don't know how to describe it, in that she's an objectively beautiful woman, but she can also be kind of odd looking.
Uh-huh.
And this movie's one of those movies where it has enough that she does look kind of odd,
Mm-hmm.
but she's also still very pretty. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Yeah. I'm confused. Yeah. And I think the character deserved a different ending than what we got, but we talked about that already. So
yeah. It's very annoying that she
that she just turns into space dust.
Yeah.
All
right. Is this a good time? Maybe this is a good time. Let's give it a whirl.
Are you pulling up the scene?
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out where it actually starts. So one, I want to start with before the head gets on the shoulders, because it just makes me laugh that, let's see, will this play? Oh wait, the volume's down.
imagine what they could tell us.
There's like weird static, but
Neither could the humans that built this temple, and neither can you.
Belief, Dr. Jones, is a gift you have yet to
can you hear it?
Yeah, it's kind of echoey on my end.
Okay. Oh, because that. Oh, I heard that. Or did you do that?
I did that.
I was like, what is happening? Is this echoey? No, it's just not going to come through. Because I'm a big old idiot. Okay. So one,
receive.
I want to see the angle. The pose that the skeleton is in looks like he's telling a hell of a joke.
Can't imagine. Neither could the humans that built this temple, and neither can you.
Belief, Dr. Jones, is a gift you have yet to receive.
He's like leaning over.
He's got his hand kind of like in his lap. He's like, let me tell you.
Yeah, like he's had one too many drinks. He's like, have I ever told you of the time I got stuck in a sandstorm? All right, continuing.
Receive. My sympathies.
Oh, I believe, sister. That's why I'm down here.
So that was there pretext to why he was nervous about it? Because he said that the skull told him to put it back.
Uh-huh.
So why would he be afraid of putting it back?
It's just, he's suspicious of things. He's been attacked by a boulder in the power of God.
So the skull has reattached itself and now it is sitting straight up. And there it is. I think I have like some kind of like a sound filter or something. So that's why it's cutting in and out.
Okay.
Apologies.
It's fine.
Does he say?
Or the program is racist and it's hearing a foreign language. It's like, you don't need to hear that. So he's speaking Mayan. What does he say?
Grateful. And he wants.
It wants to give us a gift. Big.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so he says a big gift, and then she says, tell me everything you know. But I don't know why he's weary about it, because he's just translating what Ox is saying.
Uh-huh.
And Ox isn't saying anything. There's not enough context in this scene to, like, make it work.
Yeah.
Okay, so Indy is doubtful, and he starts pressing back.
I want to know.
The alien skull looks at her and begins to transmit.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
He said the thing.
He said the thing.
The eyes.
Okay, she said that. She said the eyes. There are no eyes.
The eye holes.
Yeah, but nothing's happening. The brain is happening, but the eyes aren't happening. The brain is like glowing. There's neurons firing up and stuff, but the eyes aren't doing anything. The fact that she said that, she could have just said, it's like their brain is working or something.
Yeah, these needed like glowing to start happening in the eyes.
Yeah. And there is smoke coming out of the eyes, but she wouldn't have seen that.
No.
She's like 15, 20 feet away, and it is like the most minuscule of smoke. To the point where they had to do a close-up for you to see it. That's how minuscule. Look at those goddamn teeth.
Nice teeth.
Get a dentist. Looks like he's suffering from gingivitis. Okay, and then the ship starts to activate. What? I guess the brains activated it?
Yeah.
I guess that's what we can gather from that. I will say, graphic-wise, all of this looks really good.
Uh-huh.
The skulls, the lighting, that freeze frame, the legs look really fake.
Yeah, they do.
Shit. As I'm saying, oh, it looks really good. All of this is clearly CGI. They didn't like make this grand room and then break it apart. The CGI is breaking it apart. Okay, I'm gonna. All right, actually, let's move on to another character. I'm gonna skip a little. Mac George McHale, played by Ray Winstone. Is he British or Australian?
He's British.
There were some times where he's from London, England. I'm sure it is British. Like, I'm sure that's exactly what it is. But there was
that Monterey Jack voice from Chip and Dale.
Yes. Sorry, my brain went. He's got a cheese voice.
I know. I was like, I gotta connect this back to what the reference that I'm making.
Okay. So, a little bit of an issue here. This film was 2008. There was a little fan favorite, not critically lauded, but a fan favorite film.
Monterey Jack's from Australia.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He sounds Australian.
Okay, sorry.
I'm right. I'm glad that did in fact translate, and I'm not just totally out of my mind. Okay, so there was a fan favorite film, did really well. It was an action film from 1999, starring Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell, the Mummy.
Uh-huh.
Mac is just Benny.
It's just Benny.
It's just Benny.
Uh-huh.
Now.
But he didn't end up on the wrong side of the river.
You're on the wrong side of the river. The problem I have is Mac double crosses Indy twice.
Uh-huh.
Clearly for money.
Uh-huh.
And then he falls. And then he just gives up. Am I reading that scene right?
Yeah, he He's like,
Indy says, hey, you got to use your legs. And I'm like, cool. Why is he not using his legs?
yeah, he's just like not.
He just fell. And then Mac is like,
Yeah.
all right, here we go.
Mac! Come on!
So Mac is stealing gold.
God damn it, now!
So he falls. And now we go back to Irina, and she's getting all the info downloaded. But now she's on like a pedestal, and how the alien walked to her makes no sense.
Space.
I can see. I can see.
I think there's just really reflective floor.
Huh?
I think there's reflective floor. I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
But also, they're like 10 feet away from her, or like 20 feet diameter, and then it looks like they're 2 feet in front of her.
Yeah.
So is the room closing in on itself?
Space.
Okay, so Mac is on the ground. Indy throws the whip at him for whatever reason, rather than just going down and grabbing his collar of his shirt and being like, get up, bitch.
Right. There is some sort of pull that's happening, but apparently Indy is outside of.
No, everything's just falling. Nothing's getting pulled.
do it alone.
I'm gonna be all right.
That's the part I don't like.
Yeah.
Why is he suddenly giving up? There's no redemption. Like, don't give him redemption. Why are we redeeming this character or trying to give him like some kind of let him fucking fry, man.
Yeah.
There's the pull. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But he doesn't move at all prior.
It takes so, like, when Indy throws him the rope, there's nothing happening.
Exactly.
For the whip.
So now the Lego aliens are forming into one super Lego alien. With every skeleton that connects, more tissue, more flesh is being added onto it.
Cover it.
She looks clear. Say again?
So this is what happens when you collect all the bionicles?
No, this is what happens when you take that little eye test where they have to puff the air into your eye.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Or the other one, you know, the one, God, when they have to take a picture of inside your eye and they flash you with the sun.
Uh-huh.
That's what's happening here. What I was going to note was she clearly looks like she's on a green screen, and the alien clearly looks CGI. Like there is some formative lighting occurring on the alien, and the problem is that I think someone would argue, well, the alien's getting lit from behind. They're in a fucking circle. So he would also be lit from the front. He is getting the exact same lighting as she is. With that note. You really lose the concept of the shape of the room through all of this, the visuals occurring. Also, the implosion point changes. It was in the same room as the aliens and Irina, and now it's like
expanding
to the side of them.
Yeah.
I also don't like that the alien's like, you motherfucker.
Should have Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
The problem is they give no context. Like, Ox later doesn't go, hey, that was a good lie that you came up with.
Yeah. But that alien looks pissed off.
And Indy was like, hey, what did the alien actually say? And he was like, the alien knew everything that was happening and was really mad at Irina. So he was telling us to get out while this was happening. And then that face would have made sense. The alien just looks like a misogynist at this point. He's just like, you fucking woman.
Too much information for your tiny brain.
And it's not because you're human. It's because you're a girl. I don't like it. I don't like that she catches fire. It doesn't make any sense. What knowledge to the highest extreme of knowledge has no energy behind it.
Yeah, but does she ascend? Is that what's happening? Is she ascending to?
No, because it sounds like it was painful.
Yeah, it does. It would make more sense if she burned from her eyes down.
Yeah,
but it's like her whole body just goes whoop. Go ahead.
This whole scene doesn't make any sense because everything is falling apart, but somehow this water chamber works just fine.
Yeah, obviously.
Go!
Like it's a trap. Well, I guess they're falling apart, but it doesn't make sense how they're falling apart. Oh, this was another thing. Krista and I were talking about this. Okay, so they're in a chamber full of water. They get to a dead end. The dead end ends up being a well. And then the water chamber is flooding.
Uh-huh.
And they are getting attacked by the water. And then it starts to the water starts to push up. And they just float. It wouldn't be a geyser. Where's the pressure coming from?
You don't know that.
But they were just floating. Wouldn't they have to tread water to stay above? Because the water would have been pulling them down as well as pushing them up.
Uh-huh. But they're just kind of riding the top of it.
Right, but they're not moving at all. Shouldn't they be treading water? There's something scientifically that doesn't make any sense here. I might be wrong. I don't know. But there doesn't appear to be enough force or pressure to cause this geyser effect that's occurring.
Uh-huh.
The water should just kind of spill out. But then, two, they just floated. And everything I know about water, we're more dense, right?
I mean, they could all be positively buoyant. Possible.
And then the fact that it's not just vomiting water continuously. Also, they were at the center of that thing, right?
They got really far away.
They are half a mile plus, maybe a mile away. None of this scene makes any fucking sense. And then a big old fucking... The fact that none of them got creamed by...
Those boulders that are flying by.
Look, centrifugal force is nothing to mess with. But the fact that this is somehow creating some weird barrier of centrifugal force,
it's like making everything spin, but also like
within a limit,
with a gravity well that's also like kind of pulling it into the same spot,
which doesn't work holistically in the way that this is being. At least I don't think so.
Nah.
I'm a music teacher. I'm not a physicist, but I feel like some of that's wrong. Alrighty. Let's wrap this sucker up. Marion, a little more damsel than previously.
Yeah.
But I do like that she keeps up with him sass wise.
Yeah. I think there were too many characters for her to
really stand out.
Yeah.
She did have a joke that was kind of funny, which was the steering wheel, where she was just holding on to it.
Yeah.
She's so traumatized by the waterfalls that she's still holding on to it. And he's like, hey, let me have the let go.
Yeah.
But Karen Allen did a great job. She's such a good actor. She's fun. I really liked her. Shia LaBeouf plays Mutt Williams. Shia LaBeouf plays a real good, obnoxious, pretentious, kind of dickish teenager guy. I'm assuming he's a teenager because he hasn't finished school.
Yeah. Probably like
I'm assuming like 17.
17, 18, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He did fine. He wasn't like awful. I don't know if I like, how he's kind of like his temper. There's not enough happening to define that. He just has it.
Yeah.
And it was, his stepdad. He's like, he's my dad. There's no negative feelings. So it was very much, why are you so mad?
Yeah. Why are you rebelling so much?
Yeah. Tell me something. Like, why? What? Give me something. Oh, your dad died when you were 8. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did they say that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I know he gave a little bit of his background, but I don't remember if they actually mentioned whether her husband had clearly he's not in the picture now. But at what point was he not in the picture?
Right.
I don't know if they actually said that.
He was killed. He was killed in World War II.
So like 10 years prior, at least.
Yeah.
So I guess
Oxley became his surrogate father. But you know what? There's an interesting thing where Marion's like, why do you think Oxley stopped talking to you? Suggesting that he stopped talking because he knew.
But then he didn't know at the end.
But then at the end, he's like, Dad.
Yeah, why did Oxley stop talking? Well, I think she was saying that Oxley was finally fed up with the idea that Indy abandoned her. I think that's what she was trying to infer. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it was just that.
Alrighty. John Hurt, Professor Oxley. John Hurt is such a versatile goddamn actor. I was telling Chris, I was like, he can play an out there recluse and then play like a hyper conservative president, V for Vendetta, or he can play a doctor, like in Doctor Who, like a kind of a quirky character.
But he was the war doctor.
He was the war doctor, which he still had some quirkiness, but he can also play like intelligent as hell.
Yeah,
because all them Brits are usually have done Shakespeare once or twice. There's a lot of secondary characters that I don't know are worth
not really
talking about. The janitor from Scrubs, is in this. Wait, is that? Wait.
What?
Alan Dale, the guy who played General Ross.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's in a lot of things.
What is this?
He's in Star Trek Nemesis. Oh, he plays Councilman Rockwell in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Yeah. He's the old white guy that just fucking wants to kill everyone. You know what? It's funny because when I saw him on camera, I was like, he looked kind of familiar, but also not.
Couldn't quite figure it out. I mean, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. He was the toothpick man in the X-Files. You know, the guy with the toothpick?
That guy.
That guy. I wasn't sure when you said guy, but then when you said toothpick, I was like, oh my God, I know it.
He was in 2 episodes of Flipper.
What? Oh, yeah. Like the what?
The dolphin TV.
Hold on. The 90s.
Jessica Alba was in that?
The 97 Flipper. Let's calm down. The clearly Jessica Alba wasn't in that.
And it comes full circle because if you scroll down, the more like this, you get Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Hey!
So you're welcome. Which Chip is his style copies Indiana Jones, and Dale copies Tom Selleck's Magnum PI. And Tom Selleck was supposed to be Indiana Jones before Harrison Ford got it. It's all connected.
What if Harrison Ford had that giant caterpillar on his lip?
This would have been totally different if it was Tom Selleck.
Absolutely. They would have. Oh, God. What would they have done? Okay. I'm not crazy. So 1995 Flipper, not superior to the 1964 Flipper.
Yes.
Which I used to watch all the time.
Anyway.
Didn't it have a theme? Hold on. Hold the phone.
Lightning, not what you see.
Oh my God, I just died.
I did not hear any of that. I just heard you singing, but it like cut you out. So I missed all of that.
I'm not going to play it again.
It's okay.
Oh man, that's crazy. It's so crazy that I didn't remember it until I heard it, and I immediately remembered it. All right. What a weird side tangent that was. Flipper, faster than lightning. Na, 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 na.
I Googled something about Mac, and it was like, did you mean George Michael from Arrested Development?
Yes. Metacritic, 65%. Rotten Tomatoes, 77% positive. Rotten Tomato audience, 53% positive. IMDb audience, 6.2. Tristan,
Hi.
give us our positive review.
The Seattle Post Intelligencer gave it a 91. It's crammed full of the dash, filmmaking flair, swashbuckling magic, impossible stunts, and tongue-in-cheek humor that made the series such a phenomenal phenomenon of its time. And for those versed in traditions, almost every frame is enjoyable on some level.
Not true. Not true. There's a good 20 minutes that is not enjoyable.
The new 2 hours talking about it.
The New Yorker gave it a 50. Crystal Skull isn't bad. There are a few dazzling sequences and a couple good performances, but the unprecedented blend of comedy and action that made the movie so much more fun than any other adventure series is mostly gone. I don't know I don't know if I agree with that. Particularly the action. This film is pretty action packed.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't have too many issues with a lot of the action that happens. I have one scene in particular, two scenes in particular, action wise, that I think could be eliminated completely, and the movie would be better for it.
Mm-hmm.
The nuke and the vine
swinging, yeah.
You eliminate those two aspects, those two scenes, the movie is automatically 10% better.
Yeah.
I think the thing that hurts it is the climax, the conclusion of the film hurts the film.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think there is humor. I don't think there's outright jokes like The Last Crusade, but I think we both can agree that the jokes that did occur in The Last Crusade were almost entirely the writer's fault.
The jokes of the Last Crusade were yeah.
Like nothing of that was from Lucas, the other story developer, or Spielberg.
Right.
It was 100%. What's his name? I'm a blanket.
But yeah, this one, it felt like they did try to do jokes. I just don't think all of the jokes landed as well.
Jeffrey Baum. Another Jeff.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey Baum was a funny writer. Like, he was really good at writing funny jokes. Yeah. None of the jokes here were particularly funny. What was funny was a middle of the road joke was performed well.
Yeah.
Like Harrison or Shia or trying to think if anyone else had like a good joke moment. I think Karen Allen had a couple. Ray Winstone, who played Mac, had a couple, but none of them were none of them were blurred out loud laughing.
Yeah.
Last Crusade actually had some decent
Mm-hmm.
audible chuckles out
Yeah.
of me. This one, I think I had a smirk or a, oh, that's funny,
Mm-hmm.
but not like a,
Yeah.
yeah, just like what we did just right
Uh-huh.
now. That was
Right
exactly it. Alrighty, Tristan,
Yeah.
after talking about this film for 2.5 hours,
Yeah.
that's not true. We didn't talk about it for the whole 2 hours and 15 minutes. We gave Raiders of the Lost Ark an A-. We gave Temple of Doom a D.
Yeah.
We gave Last Crusade a B.
Yeah.
Where, oh where, does the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull land? And I want to note that in our little sheets or Excel sheet, I labeled this as stupid aliens.
You did call it stupid aliens.
So
Okay.
that tells you what I felt prior.
Uh-huh. Going before watching it, I expected to give this a terrible grade.
I was expecting a D or less.
And then watching it, I was like, oh, I'm actually going to give this a higher grade than I think. After some of our conversation, I think I'm going to, I can't decide if I want to lower it a little bit or not. But it's definitely better than the Temple of Doom.
It is definitely better than the Temple of Doom. It is a lot better than the Temple of Doom. I'm going to argue it's a lot better than the Temple of Doom. And I think enough to push it out of the same window.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like it's so much better than that. And even in all of the flaws that we found with it, the enjoyability of it.
It was so much more enjoyable than I remember.
It's like, I thought I hated this movie.
I think this movie is better after watching Temple of Doom.
Yeah, maybe if it's like, if you have the distance from it, you watch this, you're like, that's not as good. And then you go back and watch it, and you're like, oh no, actually. So I think are we giving this a C?
I was going to say
C-.
I was going to say C-.
Okay, that C- is kind of what I was leaning toward, and I was like, I think C-, and then I was debating if we wanted to go to a D+, but I think C-.
No, I think C- because I think overall it is an enjoyable film.
Yeah.
The flaws do not allow it to go any higher than that.
Uh-huh.
To me, C- is, hey, you got through it by the skin of your teeth.
Uh-huh.
That's what C- is to me.
It feels very controversial to give this
I know
a C-.
But I think from that Rotten Tomatoes score, I think we're really, even though the 100 scale feels a little different than our grading scale,
Uh-huh.
I feel like we're grading it right in the middle of the professional reviewers and then the fans or the audience.
Yeah.
And I know that it will probably be controversial to see that we gave it this grade, but it's so much better than I remember.
Yeah.
It is so much better than I remember this movie being dog shit. South Park made a really good joke about it. Do you know the joke?
No.
They have this whole thing where they're like, our friend got raped. He got abused. And then the reveal was that they watched Indiana Jones and they're like, they're raping him. And I remember being like, Yeah, it's atrocious. And now I'm kind of like, maybe they didn't. Maybe it wasn't that bad.
It's not that the problems. They did not. Temple of Doom hurt the character of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
This movie does not hurt the character of Indiana Jones. It breaks its own rules for the universe or the world building, but it does not actually harm Indiana Jones.
And I think it's worth kind of restating that in that Temple of Doom is not a great script.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts the reputation of Indiana Jones as a character.
Uh-huh.
This one nails Indiana Jones. The story is flawed.
Yeah.
So you can have Indy in a flawed story and it still works.
Uh-huh.
Like if you do Indiana Jones correctly, the story doesn't matter as much, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Because we're so locked in with story. Like we make a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do right by the character, you can have a flawed story and it still be an enjoyable experience.
Exactly.
We got Christopher Nolan, but like the opposite. The opposite is you have a great visual experience, but all the characters are flawed writing wise, not just within the story, but writing wise. Right. This one is you had such a great experience with the character that the story didn't affect that.
It kind of forgives some other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, a brief note that we don't have to spend a lot of time on. This is the only one where the goal was finding a location, not an artifact.
They had the artifact the whole time, basically. Yeah.
Which is kind of a strange twist.
I wonder if that creates the flaw in the story.
Is that they're looking for a location, not the
artifact?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck are they looking for in Temple of the Rocks. That's right.
The rocks.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. C-.
C-. I'm down with that.
Fight us.
Yeah. I don't know. Rewatch it and then go tell your mother how you feel about it, because I keep forgetting to post shit, so I don't really have a format for you to comment or anything. I bet we'd get more fans if I actually did that, but yeah, I don't. Hey, thanks for watching this film.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
And you listener, want you to remember, review those rewinds, and we'll see you next time.